It's now 6:30. I'd like to call this City Council meeting of June the 13th to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Councilperson Cosner,
Here.
Councilman Nestor,
Present.
Councilperson Thomas,
Here.
Councilman Orchakowski,
Here.
Mayor Mosher.
Present.
Mayor, we have 5 present and no decorum.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Jim Michelson to lead us in prayer from the Orchard Church. Here's Jim.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, residents representing Monessen, I greet you in the name of Jesus Christ. Holy Father, we ask that you bring a blessing to this meeting tonight, that we're asking and been invited to ask for your presence, for your leadership, and for your peace. We say a blessing over each of the leadership here. We bless you in the name of Jesus Christ, and we bless the residents that have gathered, that there would be the peace of the Lord here in this house tonight. We thank you, Jesus, that we can come, and we're grateful that you make provision for us to add you into our mix and into our decision making. We thank you and we praise you and we bless you in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to defer the minutes until we've all had a chance to look at the new format that's being used. It's verbatim for every word that's spoken, so it may take a little bit longer. We'll pick that up next meeting, I think.
Yeah, we'll be ready with all of them.
At this time, I'd like to open the floor for public comments directed to myself on agenda items only.
At R.I. Helen Avenue. After the last meeting, you've missed a couple, so there are a lot of questions I have, but I know that's not going to happen. I have a concern about that, the barges and everything. You met with these people. It's kind
This
of
is agenda items on today's agenda. Items on today's agenda. We can talk about other things at the end of the meeting.
I don't know if I have that. The main thing I want to tell you is when I was mayor, we balanced the budget for 4 years, and you said we didn't. I'll talk later.
Ernest Telegraphist, 29 Bricks. I'm not an atheist. I do believe in the Christmas and Thanksgiving, but I'm not for this March for Jesus. Who is sponsoring this and who's paying for it?
It's, as it says, it's sponsored by the Pastors Organization for
And who are these
Monessen.
pastors? Anybody could form about 4 or 5 pastors. Who are they?
That's right.
Yeah, well, they don't represent the whole Christian community here.
Nothing, nobody said they did. But
No,
they made a request, and we're going to vote on that.
What organization do they belong? Is it the Nehemiah group?
This is the Pastors
Yeah,
Organization of
they're part of
Monessen.
the Nehemiah group.
Some of them may be, but not all of them are.
Okay, I don't know why the city is going into that narrow path.
We're
of
not.
just-
We'll
yeah,
do
they're
this for-
promoting a particular sect.
We will do this for
Okay.
anybody that comes forth with such a plan.
Okay, so I'm going to call the Hare Krishna group to come here and they'll start dancing with their tambourines.
If you
Yeah, what do you
organize
guys
such a
gonna
thing and request it, we'll consider it.
Well, we got a lot of major issues here, and all I see here is bread and circus all through the whole thing. And that's bad. Do you
back
notice
to
how
this.
bad the roads are? And nobody's doing nothing there. All we're doing is what? Planting trees to make it look good? Meanwhile, we're living like a third world country.
Read the agenda.
What's on the agenda? You're not fixing the potholes.
We're going to replace a road.
Which road? We're
Third
gonna replace one road. There's over, what, 48 miles of roads here in Monessen?
How much
So
money
which
do you
road
think
are
we
gonna
have to
fix?
do? How much money do you think we have to spend on this?
Well, maybe if you spend more time on trying to focus on these issues instead of these bread and circus groups,
Okay, well, you got questions on the agenda,
well, that is part of the agenda.
okay?
Yeah, one other thing. The Civic Center, why is there another expense there?
Who said there was?
Right here. It's about allocating,
It's the list of events, upcoming events, sir. There's no spending for,
There's no money.
yeah, allocated for that.
can I make a suggestion about all these events? Each group,
What is he talking about?
At the last, all these-
yeah, see, Mike found it.
Okay.
Yeah, just one specific request. Can you have each group promote the schedule and agenda instead of you being in charge of the whole umbrella?
Well,
I mean, they
obviously-
gotta have some responsibility.
obviously that's taken place because I wasn't even aware of it.
No, you're promoting it. Yeah, I don't hear them putting out anything.
Okay, thank you.
We'll get there, and the events are upcoming.
Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. At this time, does anybody have any correspondence that they would like to address the council?
No, Mayor.
At this time, I'd like to ask the solicitor for his report.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Took a look at some policies for your chief of police. You'll see CDBG demolition for properties on the agenda tonight. These are properties that are outside of the county demolition project. One thing we do have to note that you will have to get these properties asbestos testing as part of preparing the bid specs through WEC. And there also be another demo hearing for the county demolition project, July 11th at 5:30 p.m. Councilwoman Cosner sent over a participation form for the day camp with the Penn State Extension. That's everything I have this evening.
Thank you. Our city controller is absent today, so we'll withhold that until the next meeting. The city treasurer will be late. He should be in shortly. Lois, could I indulge upon you to read my motions, please?
Going over, got you. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to make a motion to approve payment requisition number 19 and certificate in an amount of $811,683.23 for Phase 3 work performed during the month of May 2024. The motion includes a proposed payment of WEC Engineering, Inc. for construction invoice number 12 in an amount of $51,613.44 for work performed from 4/27/2024 through 5/31/2024, contingent on future and additional documentation, and to WEC Engineering, Inc. for resident project representative invoice number 10 for work performed from 4/27/2024 through 5/31/2024, contingent on future and additional documentation, immediate payment to Insight Pipe Contracting LLC for sewer rehabilitation Phase 3, a cure in place pipe application number 5 in the amount of $582,798.68 for work performed from 5/1/2024 to 5/31/2024 for a total invoice of $811,683.23. Invoices and materials attached to this agenda as Exhibit 1.
Is there a second?
Second, Mayor.
Any questions? Please call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Moser?
Yes.
Motion to authorize WEC Engineering to proceed with the repaving of 3rd Street with engineering fees not to exceed 10% of the actual bid price of the contract, contingent on total costs not to exceed budgeted CDBG funds.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Yeah, Mayor, we do have the funds to cover what it should cost. Am I correct?
Yes. Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to authorize WEC Engineering to proceed with the appropriate advertising and demolition of the following projects: 519 to 521 Rostraver Avenue, 2002070284. 525 Rostraver Avenue, 2002070285. 527 Rostraver Avenue, 2002070286. 1550 Rostraver Avenue, 2002150317. 1556 Schrader Avenue, 2002110271.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Let me just clarify something. These are properties that will be demolished using CDBG funds, not, they're outside of the realm that will be handled by the county. Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to approve a Victory March for Jesus to be coordinated and held by the City of Monessen Pastors Association on July 13, 2024, starting at the Schooner Center on Schoonermaker Avenue, Monessen, and proceeding to 2nd Street to Donner Avenue, and returning to the Schooner Center.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes.
And this is the first time we're seeing this. And, where is it? It's going through on Schoonamaker, right?
Yes.
Schoonamaker's a state,
Yes. The reason why we have it as a council motion is it requires council motion before
Goes
the,
to
the 906 PennDOT will issue a permit.
oh. So, then so there's a permit would be for Schoonamaker
And Donner.
and Donner. And,
Second Street's on City Road.
yeah. So, isn't this more in PennDOT's hands than our hands?
It is, but as I said, PennDOT will not do it without a council approval.
That's like, in the past, when we've hung banners over 906 for like Kennywood Day, council approves before PennDOT makes any motion.
Yeah, diverting no traffic. Yeah.
Right.
You have to, before hanging any banners on 906,
So-
you have to get council
Yeah,
approval
but
for that.
that's-
So-
this is
I think this
different.
mayor,
So,
no, hold on, it's not, you guys had time to talk about this, right now council's
Why would,
talking.
before you approve it?
so, my question is, there's no time on this. There's no time period of what's gonna be down and what's gonna be blocked. Is this gonna be additional, and I'm sorry for asking all these questions, but is there gonna be additional need for police, for any traffic?
Do you have a copy of the flyer you can show him?
I mean, that's what I'm saying, we see this.
It's expected to be about a 30-minute parade, as I recall.
It doesn't say that.
Well-
Yeah, it doesn't say that at all.
And where's the traffic gonna go?
Yeah, who's controlling traffic?
Well, that's
Who's paying for the police to control traffic?
well, the city does.
Where's the city gonna get charged?
For about 30 minutes is all that we're talking about. It's gonna start at 1 o'clock and go to 2:30, but most of that's gonna be held at the Schooner Center.
So 906 is gonna be backed up for 30 minutes? He just said 1 to 2:30.
That's, I said most of that is gonna be at the Schooner Center.
Lots of times they have. They have. I'm just saying, it's been in the paper, Keith's person, I don't know. A lot of times they have.
What, can I ask if there's anybody that knows what rough size of crowd it might be?
It ain't gonna be that many.
We don't know how.
Well, you
to-
won't be there.
It just depends, you don't know who the turnout is, it's just whoever it turns out.
It's just open to
Right.
all the churches and anybody who wants to come.
Do you have a
We
rough?
give 100.
Yeah, it just
We give
depends.
100. You know, we don't know.
Okay.
It's a very minority, handpicked.
Well, it's not that. The point is that,
You're supposed to represent that major city resident, not a little slice of it. That ain't representation of government.
Okay. so-
well, government and there should be a separation between that anyways, religion and government and state anyways,
State
so.
and church.
there's a separation, that's where I'm looking at this at.
Yeah, but it's also very particular, and I don't like.
No, I don't think it's particular, but,
Yes, it is. They're
but
doing
until
a lot of
now,
things.
I wasn't aware of any time, or, I don't think we've seen this before, did we? This is the first time. we've seen
It's
it.
on the webpage too.
It may be the only time we've seen it, but we're not the first town to ask for this. I see this every year in McKeesport. I've seen it in Charlevoix. Right, I'm just saying, it's been in the valley before. We're not the only city that's had it. Right.
But not here.
Now, I'm pretty sure Charleroi has had, maybe not this past year, but they've had it in the past. And we've even had this in the past too. Years ago. Years ago, we did. I remember.
Been in the 1900s.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
in the,
Is this something we
no, but
should or
we've had it
stay
before.
away from? For separation of,
No, they have a First Amendment right to assemble.
okay.
Things like how traffic's gonna be controlled, those are all things that you should be earning, are part of the meeting. Things that need to be considered when you approve these applications.
So Chief, what's your take on this? Just from a police,
I'm the one that has to apply for I'm the one that applied for the permit for PennDOT. So in order to apply to submit that application to PennDOT, I need council motion. So it's just like a parade, like any other parade that we have, Christmas, Halloween, all that, same application goes in. There is the parade route, there is a detour route. I already talked to Delmar Heppel about it. He's gonna help with traffic, like the fire department always has with traffic.
okay.
So as I am on the understanding of, it's just gonna be a half hour, and it's gonna be a rolling, I would say like a rolling
Like
walk,
traffic.
rolling walk type thing, where, whenever they go on Schoonamaker, there's gonna be, also Long Island EMS was invited, or was advised of this, and they're gonna follow the group. So, that's all I know, that, it's just a parade, regardless of.
Ernie, this is not your discussion.
How's it promoting Jesus? This is a farce. That's all I know.
So, I'm sorry for asking all these questions, but this is like, it is surprised. It's July 13th, which means it's less than a month away from where it is now. How fast does it take you to get authorization from PennDOT?
It could be, I've got them within a few days. They usually ask for a couple weeks. But like right now, it's supposed to, we could push things through, something comes up or, something happens. I have some contact with the Uniontown office for PennDOT to assist, if we need.
Thanks, Chief.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas,
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski,
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Not that I know some stuff.
Yeah, they gotta know.
And then just read a couple of the documents. Since I already approved
No,
it.
you
You've had
did.
Did you have
Option
say
at
at the
five.
beginning of the meeting where it said
Yeah.
the items that were on the agenda,
Agenda.
you're allowed to speak? I mean, they're, honestly, Linda, that's,
I asked who was the group. He didn't even
And I
answer.
told you, the pastor,
What
Monessen.
pastor?
Carry
Yeah.
on.
Six pastors you got, that represents all the churches.
Hey,
But
I don't know how
Ernie,
to.
Ernie,
No,
Ernie.
that's not true at all.
First of all, you had,
Ernie.
Ernie, settle
There
down.
is no point to discuss it when it's already done.
I know, it's a done deal. Because they meet with institutions.
Okay,
Ernie.
come on, Ernie.
Ernie, there's the First Amendment of the United States
Yeah,
Constitution.
For everybody, not for a little
It's-
select.
Yeah, that's the whole point here.
They are part
They
of
have a
it.
right to peacefully assemble.
They pay for permit, they pay for the permit, no permit.
But there's a First Amendment in the United States.
No, see, here's,
Come on, let's, hey, let
Here's the
me,
thing.
Just the way I look.
No.
You know
No.
what?
No.
Councilman gotta go, and you gotta go.
I gotta go, maybe you have to go.
You will go.
Sure.
In 2 years, you'll be butt out of here.
come on,
Won't
let's,
be the first time.
Well, it will be on my clock this time, baby.
Next one.
Excited for it.
On my clock.
There's the deal. You have 2 times to comment on this meeting. before the motions and after.
Group has the First Amendment too, but you
Yeah.
guys don't do a damn thing about it, and you know that's factual.
Let's move on.
Discussion and
Continue on.
Discussion and motion to advertise for a one-ton truck capable of spreading salt, plowing roads, and other daily uses and requirements by the Streets and Parks Department.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll. Okay?
We're not just gonna pass this thing and say, yes, here we go. I mean, we gotta talk about, is everybody comfortable and see the thing I sent everybody?
This is for advertisement. We can continue on after we advertise this about the specifications, and we will have motions to do whatever we do. This is just to advertise.
To get responses back for cost and
But that was the whole reason for a discussion. And then we decide, get everybody knows what we're doing, and then have to say we're gonna advertise.
Okay? Explain it then.
That's what I was going to do, is going to vote on those.
Okay, well, I asked, any questions?
And as I said, whoa, 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 whoa. Was everybody, I mean, there's no sense wasting money in advertising for bid if nobody likes what we possibility will get. That's wasting money, and I'm not doing that. So my question to everybody was, did you see the truck specs or the PDF I sent out to everyone? That's where I wanted the discussion, is saying, does anybody have an issue? Does anybody have any questions on it before we spec out? Because we're gonna put the advertisement to spec exactly for that truck. Because unfortunately, Joe said that we do, this truck is in Ohio, which is a dealership in Ohio, which means they don't do co-stars, which means we need to do co-stars, but the only way around it, and I don't mean to be around it, but the only way to get this truck, because it's what available right now. Those types of vehicles with stainless steel bed, spreader, snowplow package, and everything else, they're just not sitting on dealers' lots. And the other reason is, I spoke to the gentleman yesterday, this is a 2023, I'm sorry. This is a 2023, if everybody looked at it, stainless steel and everything else. A 2024, exactly equipped the same way, is $22,000 more. So the truck listed for 107,000, somewhat change, okay? He brought it down to 103,000. It doesn't, so everybody knows, it doesn't have a plow on it, but I talked to Rodney, and if it's something we're going to go with, we can take it to Zaresco's in Turtle Creek, and for about $7,500, they will equip a new plow on the front of it. So for around 110,000, 111,000 out of the ARP money, we will turn around and get a new truck.
Does the car have to be maintenance Ohio for any?
No, it's a Ford warranty.
Okay.
It doesn't make any difference. It's warranty value.
Worry about lumber.
And the dealership right across, I think it's Canfield, Ohio, right across the state line, they'll deliver it free. So we don't have to go pick it up and do everything else.
Because they're not co-stars, the city will have to put out a request for sealed bids.
Yes.
You may get.
There may be other people, we
Yeah,
don't know
well-
that.
We don't know that.
So why do you advertise?
We're gonna advertise to see if we can get bids. Come on.
They're not co-stars.
They're not.
They're not
They're
co-stars.
not co-stars. The dealership, they've tried, but apparently.
I just asked, I didn't hear you speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know if it has to be because Ohio, or I don't know if co-stars is.
It is,
yeah. If it's whatever. So, I just wanted to give everybody all the information before we advertise for something and someone says, whoa, wait, I don't like that. It didn't have this or this on it.
Well, I think if we advertise, hopefully we'll get more than one bid in, and we'll be able to compare, and we'll be able to pick the best vehicle.
Well,
That may be the best vehicle.
well, the other thing is, and this is how we gotta spec out the bid, I mean, availability is one of the big things too.
You worked with your public works department to know what features they want on the truck.
Right,
We
Those
did.
features will be listed in the bid spec
okay,
accordingly.
so. That's all I have.
Okay? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes. I'm going to divert on the agenda just slightly and allow our treasurer to give his report since he wasn't here at that time.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, council, and citizens of Monessen, this is my report for the month of May. Garbage fees, revenues. Garbage fees current. In May, we received $5,345. Year-to-date, $320,387.68. Budget amount, $350,000. Garbage fees delinquent. May we received $2,652.93. Year-to-date, $31,304.05. Budget amount, $75,000. Amount collected by Portnoy was including the above delinquent amount was $1,172.93. Year-to-date by Portnoy, $13,089.05. That was including the above total also. Penalty and interest from Portnoy, May we received $46.42. Year-to-date, $965.49. Budget amount, $2,500. Garbage fees collected for next year, 2025. We received nothing in May. Year-to-date, $760. Budget amount, $150,000. Total for the month of May, $8,044.35. Year-to-date, $353,417.22. Budget amount, $577,500. City real estate taxes revenues. May we received $887,228.64. Year-to-date, $1,765,483.21. Budget amount was $1,600,000. Prior city taxes collected. We received nothing in May. Year-to-date, $22,044.74. Budget amount was $7,000. Subtotal for total year-to-date on city real estate taxes collected, $1,787,527.95. Delinquent city taxes. City taxes collected by Tax Claim Bureau, Westmoreland County quarterly. This quarter, we received $28,104.21. Total through May, $75,671.91. Budget amount, $160,000. Total year-to-date taxes collected, $1,863,199.86. Budget amount, $1,767,000. Distribution is as follows as of May 31st, 2024. Year-to-date, general fund, $1,243,583.21. Budget amount, $1,113,120. Debt service, year-to-date, $337,485.29. Budget amount, $302,080. Library, year-to-date, $36,108.04. Budget amount, $32,320. Parks, year-to-date, $170,351.41. Budget amount, $152,480. Total year-to-date, we received $1,787,527.95. Budget amount, $1,600,000. Miscellaneous accounts. Real estate transfer tax. May we received $3,793.82. Year-to-date, $19,471.30. Budget amount, $89,333. Earned income tax. May we received $94,165.87. Year-to-date, $313,828. Budget amount, $682,048. Mercantile tax. May we received $13,411.30. Year-to-date, $15,245.70. Budgeted amount, $23,425. Local service tax we received in May, $15,221.65. Year-to-date, $36,174.89. Budgeted amount, $71,072. Tax certifications. May we received $4,640. Year-to-date, $9,730. Budget amount, $20,000. Municipal lien letters. May we received $1,950. Year-to-date, $5,625. Budget amount, $17,500. Line usage account, unsecured payments. May we receive nothing. Year-to-date, $10,119. Line usage fee, we may receive $85,260.83. Year-to-date, $395,155.52. Total year-to-date, line usage account, we received $405,274.52. Mayor, that concludes my report for the month of May.
Mayor, motion to accept the treasurer's report for garbage fees and city real estate tax collected for the month of May.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes. At this time, Tony, it's your turn.
Thank you, Mayor. Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the general fund in the amount of $21,835.32. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment A.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the recreational account, the amount of $584.49. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment B.
Is there any questions? Or second, rather.
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the Parks Fund in the amount of $3,105.77. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment C.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the Liquid Fuels Fund in the amount of $36,727.40. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment D.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the line usage account in the amount of $594.06. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment E.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the grant fund in the amount of $502.75. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment F.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve the transfer of $74,022.11 from the general fund to the payroll account.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
And a motion to transfer $4,700 from the general fund to the healthcare account.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
And these are the balances in the accounts as of today. ARP fund has $155,137.56. Debt service has $1,089,463.33. Fire has $21,393.38. Grant has $67,542.72. The healthcare account has $4,256.13. Line usage has $673,364.84. Liquid Fuels has $108,424.23. Parks has $100,972.08. Payroll has $14,014.60. Recreation has $5,091.34. Refuge has $236,533.63. And the general fund has $1,089,400, wrong one, sorry. $1,137,432.32. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Lois, would you like to give us your report?
No, if I can, I'd like to defer it into our next meeting.
Okay. John?
Honorable Mayor, administrative staff, citizens of Monessen, and city council, I'm going to go ahead and abstain from our report until the next meeting.
Okay,
Thank you. I yield the floor.
thank you. Karen?
I would also like to defer my report till the end of the month, but I would like a motion to approve the upcoming scheduled events at the Civic Center, and those include a Nerf Wars, July 12th, 2024, 7 to 9 p.m., Back to School Family Dance, August 17th, 6 to 8 p.m., Civic Center Basketball Tournament, 5-on-5, September 14th, 2024 at 2 p.m., Halloween Family Party, October 26th, 2024 at 2 p.m., Thanksgiving Vendor Show, November 16th, 2024, 11 to 4 p.m., Community Christmas Night Friday, December 6th, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Is there a motion?
Oh, that is the motion.
That
there
is
a
the
second?
motion, okay.
Is there a second?
Is there?
Second, Mayor.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Do I discuss the shed before I make a motion?
Actually, a motion allows you to discuss it in questions, so go ahead and make a motion.
Okay, can I have a motion for the placement of a shed at Madison Park purchased by the Monessen Redevelopment Authority on behalf of the City of Monessen Shade Tree Commission?
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any questions concerning this? Discussion items?
Where is it getting put and what's it getting?
Well, that's the question. Where do you want it? Where do we think we want it?
I think that should be a discussion between the Shade Tree Commission and the Parks Department.
Yeah, that should be there to decide that.
Okay.
I don't want to
I
decide.
think we should leave it up to those two.
Okay, I got no problem with that.
Perfect.
And what, is it going on a pad? Is it going on gravel?
Well, I can give you some information about the shed. Can I do
Okay.
that? Mary Jo Smith and I went on Tuesday to Backyard Outfitters. That's on Route 51, not far from the Red Caboose.
136.
Hmm?
136.
Not too far from that. And we looked at an 8x8 utility shed. It's gray in color, very plain, but we thought, with time we could make it more attractive. And it's made out of material called LP panel. It's an engineered wood. And there's been research done on it that buried this wood. It's termite resistant. It should last for a very long time. You don't have to paint it. There's no upkeep involved. And it's placed on a gravel bed, and there's gravel across the street in that lot on Knox Avenue. If you look over, you'll see it's on the corner. And Delmar said that can be used as the base. And the delivery price includes them bringing it on a flatbed. And when it's there, their guys will put shims on the bottom to level it up. And the Shade Tree Commission's gonna use this shed for 2 years to store our hoses and tools. Then after that, it can be used for whoever has events at the park. If they wanna bring things in the night before and store it, they could do it. I mean, we thought the shed was really well built, and I think it's gonna be an asset to the park.
So you're proposing putting this on the other side of the fence across the street?
No, no, no. When you walk in the park, you come in through those gates. Immediately, you look to the left, because we had a discussion with Delmar, and I'd asked various people before, where do you think convenience-wise it would be? So it would be set right there, and then we could buy pavers to make a little sidewalk, so if people had whatever they have, their supplies, they could just walk right there. And it would be.
It's over there in the corner of the park.
It's not really in the corner. As soon as you come in the gate, it's to the left.
To the left.
To the left, and it's fairly flat. It starts to,
There's two gates up at that park.
the one on Knox.
The one that's coming on 9th Street or one
Knox,
on Knox?
Knox Avenue.
Okay, so that's the big gate.
Yeah, right across from where the pavilion is. So say you
So
had
it's gonna be inside the park?
inside the park.
Okay.
Because number one, we have to carry 400
Well,
feet of
that's what
hoses.
the question was the last time you brought it up, because you wanted to put it across the street. where the elks were.
Well, I don't think I ever said that.
Well, that's what the discussion was.
Well, this is
So
what,
this time
it
it's
seemed
going
like it was
inside.
convenient, and it's small, so when you walk in, you're not gonna be overwhelmed by this huge shed. I think it's gonna be attractive, it's great, and here's the specs if anybody wants to look at it. What's that? No, but I think it'll be an asset.
It will do its purpose.
It
what I'm
will,
saying.
it will,
Yeah.
it will, so,
Okay.
that is the information about the shed.
It's gonna get locked, right?
Beg your pardon?
It'll be locked, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Who's gonna have the keys?
Well, city, or, I don't know, whoever has keys here.
The city doesn't own it.
Probably for the first 2
Well-
years, won't you?
Well,
Yeah,
once it's
yeah,
placed-
you will. The shade tree's part of the city.
Just ask them.
Yeah. Well, we won't own
No,
it.
no, it becomes the
You
city's.
people own it.
No, I'm not gonna have the keys.
No, who, I don't know, Marlene, or, I don't know who has the keys. I mean,
I would
that'll be
think the
worked
parks
out.
department.
Yeah, it'll be
Delma,
worked
or
out.
Ron-
So this is a
Ron-
pre-manufactured
worked
all
out.
day, comes on a flat day.
Nobody's gonna be using the shed except for the parking. So why
Yeah,
don't
that's
we
not
do
gonna
that?
work. That's not gonna work.
Well, and we may, because we have to
Tell you.
water, but it'll be secure. It's not gonna be hanging on a
Figure it out.
little loop outside of it. And
Is there gonna be insurance on that? Well, you got a dwelling, you need insurance. Somebody goes in, falls down inside, then what? Oh, what am I thinking about that? I'm gonna go after the city then. And number two, an 8x8.
Hey, come on, come on.
small dwelling.
Absolutely.
Ernie, this
That
is,
ain't big.
No.
this isn't
What
your,
am I gonna put in there? You said you got 400 feet of hoses. Who's gonna put in there? Garden hose? 8x8
Does
is a
this-
small.
take my word, that's as big as that little hut at City Park, and we were fine with that the past
That
3
ain't
years.
big enough if you're gonna use it as a.
Yeah.
come on, let's keep it to council.
So if anything happens, this falls under the city's umbrella for insurance?
Yeah,
Okay. John brought up a point, we noticed that door to handle isn't going to last.
We wanna get a deadbolt
Okay.
and have that, and that was brought up at our meeting yesterday. It needs a deadbolt.
That's gonna get smacked and that's the end of it. That's gonna be
Well,
done. I'm
deadbolt.
sorry, Lois. you wanna- I'm sorry.
Yeah, we thought of that, and it's,
Just put an alarm on it, secure it, once you put an alarm in the camera.
well,
How much is the whole cost?
This is being paid for by the RDA.
2454.50.
$25,000.
$2,400. We're not building a house there. No, redevelopment's paying for it. We're not paying for it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the work.
Could we have a roll call?
To insure it.
Good.
If there's no more questions, let's have a roll call.
Councilperson Cosner?
yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Thomas?
Yes.
Councilman Chakowski?
Yes.
Mayor motion.
Yes.
Also, the other day when Mary Jo and I were up at the field, we took a little walk around the whole perimeter of that, park. And we noticed a few things that, and I've been told that some of these are already gonna be taken care of. I just wanted to bring them up to council. We thought maybe they were a safety issue. If you walk around the basketball courts on that track and you walk around, there's a fence. And Mike has told us that that fence belongs to the. May belong to the county housing authority. But there's a gap, and, Mary Jo is kind enough, that she took some photos of this, a big gap in the fence that we thought maybe could be repaired. Because when we were there the other day, it was so wonderful, there were all kind of children, they were there for a basketball camp playing. But I know what little kids are like, in a minute, they could be out and they could be through a gap, and I know that I would hesitate to go through that gap because it's a drop-off. And I didn't investigate to see where it goes, but if it fell, you could have issues. If you continue on, between the pathway and the fence, it has started to erode. And again, there's a gap, and I don't have a photo of that, about this wide between the pathway and a fence. So again, a little child could, or even a person, if they weren't paying attention, slip under that. And I'm sure everybody's aware of it. But another safety issue we found were the swings were dangling, and I felt that maybe, and I don't know if you have this in the budget or if you do it periodically, that you remove all these rusted chains and the brackets that are on top and replace them. Because if a child would be swinging on that and through rust and age it fell, they're gonna get hurt. And it could be a liability issue. I mean, I don't know, I just saw some things, I thought if we could repair them to make them safe, and again, as a matter of what you usually repair, I don't know, but, you know, it's a beautiful park, and I would just like to see that, you know, if the kids are playing there with parents, they don't have to worry that somebody could end up falling down a hill. So, that was really all I had as far as discussion, and I guess if anybody goes to that, you could go up there and look, and my goal in the next few months is to go around all the parks, take photos, and make a list and see if things could be fixed, that they could be a possible safety issue.
Thank you.
So, I don't know, so I'm gonna pass these down.
Okay.
Thank you.
From my perspective, as you come up with these things, we need to probably put in a requisition, figure out what it's gonna cost, and then we can decide whether
Okay.
somebody can afford or not. Anything else?
Not for me,
Thank you.
and you're quite welcome.
At this time, I'm going to open the floor for public comment directed on items related to the business ordinance, statutes, resolutions, or daily work product in the attention of the city of Monessen.
Could I ask you, I heard that for 3 weeks now, Rosalind hasn't been here. And I understand the reason she ain't here is because the new girls that you hired haven't cranked up the data for her to make her statement.
That's not true.
Then what is the data for that?
We have the data here. We just don't have anybody to present it.
Well, you got the treasurer.
The treasury is a treasury department. The
Okay,
controller is a
but-
different department. That
but
is
Tony-
administration department. We need a deputy controller. It would be up to Rosalie to appoint somebody to.
Then why doesn't she appoint?
I don't know.
Well, so we all lay down then.
No?
Then what is it?
That is a separate function. You'd have to talk to her. I don't know the
Well,
answer.
but you're the mayor, don't you make directives?
That is not under my purview.
It's not on your purview.
Absolutely not.
Whose purview is it on?
It is a separate entity. There's three
Separate-
parts to government. There's the treasury, there's the administration, and there's the controller. That's the three parts of government within the city of Monessen,
So the controller has no backup.
unless they assign somebody.
So why isn't she assigning anybody?
I can't answer that question.
So we're running this like a dictatorship.
No,
then.
we're not.
Each little group calls the shots without any oversight. I just want to say
I
one
can't
more
answer your
thing.
question.
I just want to say something. You're supposed to represent the city of Monessen residents and businesses. All I see so far from you, Mayor, is you're only promoting very small, narrow-minded little groups, and you're putting an effort to them, and you're not putting any effort what the city needs. The potholes. You know how many times I got hit with a pothole and I have to go and pay for realignments? Number two, we'll put that viaduct up there, 3rd Avenue, that bridge. What's going on there? You brought it up 2-3 months ago. We don't got no progress report on that.
Well, there's nothing been done yet, but that is something done by PennDOT, and that's on their schedule. It probably won't happen till next year. We're getting a lot of rain.
Maybe it's me. Are you still there? Okay. So, how much time have you put in And that's what I like to know.
Okay, let me just stop you right there and let me tell you some of the time I put in. First off, last time we had our last council meeting, we authorized the repair of Third Street, a break in the sewer line that occurred. Today, they completed the work on that. Engineering was able to come up with a solution. It turns out that this break was in solid concrete, but they were able to bypass that. It raised the price by about $1,200. We got that solved. There was a swing failure in Madison Park today. Today there was a basketball camp that was going on. Today was the final day of the basketball camp. I go up there, and first off, it was a very successful camp. They had numerous kids up there, far more than I really anticipated. But as one of the kids was swinging, the chain broke on the swing. So this, what Karen is saying is very true, that there is some safety problems up there. Now, they will be up there tomorrow to fix that and get that going. It's been brought up several times here about the Eastgate building. I have talked to Krish, I've talked to Manny. They wanted to come in here and put in one of their cyclotrons. I said, there's not much chance that you'll ever convince Monessen that a cyclotron would be a positive thing of Monessen. What they're talking about is something that has a 2-hour half-life for the nuclear particles they produce. It's probably very safe. They got these in hospitals, but in Monessen, it's probably just not the thing to do. The point being is, they are looking at different things they can do with that building at this point, possibly selling it, leasing it, or something along those lines. So that's.
Selling would be the best.
Yeah,
But
give
maybe-
it back to the city.
But they're not gonna give it back.
Fix the price like they are.
Anyway, I've done that. I met with, the Civic Center is somewhat of a challenge right now in that Julian is unavailable right now.
Okay, so who's in charge now?
Well, the rec board has always been in charge of that. The
But
rec
they
board-
don't even meet.
Well, the rec board, I've been putting pressure on them. Tequila, I can't even say her. Takara is going to take the lead on that and be running the Civic Center in his absence,
When?
beginning immediately. People's Gas is planning on moving to Schoonmaker Wednesday of next week. So all the work that they've done with the patchwork they're gonna go back and finalize that. They'll do full lane repaving and milling and getting that going, starting Wednesday of next week. I met with DCD, HUD, County, and School District to discuss a joint project to work on the building that's at 4th and Reed Street. This would be something that's got county improvement, county money, state money, and federal money, and the school district all on board to do workforce development. So this is something that we're trying to put together. There's some confusion going on right now with Pinvest on Phase 4. Phase 4 is because the way that this works is we do the Phase 4 on an interim loan. Every time our engineer does a job, they submit a request for payment. We do that through council. That goes to the interim loan. They pull out the interim loan. When the project is complete, they send in a final invoice. At that time, it triggers an event where the DEP comes in and does an investigation on what the work that was done and make sure that they approve that. Once that's done, the project gets moved from an interim loan to a permanent long-term loan that's at low interest rate that we've agreed to in the past. Somehow or other, things are not on track, and they think that it's already a final loan and we haven't finished the project yet. So I'm working with that. The air conditioner at the library has failed. We're trying to come up with solutions for that. What's it gonna cost? We're looking at different things for that that's going on. The ADA ramp at the Civic Center is complete. We're waiting on funding from CDBG in order to get that so we can make the final payment on that.
You mean they didn't pay them yet?
We can't pay them until we get paid. The
Then
money comes from CDBG.
Then we
Never
authorize them to
mind.
go ahead with it.
Then, never mind, CDBG takes care of that. The welcome sign at Tyrol in 906, if you go by that, it looks infinitely better than it's looked in many, many years. It's a great improvement. I sent a thank you note to Gary Moatman and thanking him for the hard work that he put in. I think it looks infinitely better than it's looked in the past. People's Gas and ABC is doing work all over town right now. They're scattered all over town. We're working with permitting on that. I don't know what the scope of this is, but People's Gas has gas line problems and the ABC has problems with their line, and they're trying to get these all fixed. So throughout town, you're gonna find spot projects on roads that they're working on. I put together a rating condition on roads. And this is something that I circulated through council, we can talk about it. But basically what it is I said, all roads have some sort of condition. Let's rate them from 0 to 10. 10 being the worst rating and 0 being a very good road. Very few 0 roads in this town. The next thing would be how much that road is being used, what the traffic count is on that road, how much is being used on that road, and the third is what is the cost to get that road, and all of these would be rated 0 to 10. If you put this together and you say, let's rate the roads, and you can't rate all the roads because I just don't have time to do that, but rate the roads that were of most concern to us, it clearly shows roads like 3rd Street as being a prime road that needs to be paved, and that's one that we approved tonight to get paved. If you, today, if you paid attention to what we did up here, we approved $800,000 for for USDA Phase 3 project. That's key because that all of a sudden triggers a threshold where we've exceeded the $7.5 million loan that we have from USDA. When we got the loan, we got 2 $7.5 million loans. We've now completed one of those loans. We can use that loan to pay down the PNC Bank.
Are you?
And we will start that process immediately after we get this done. We'll start that process immediately, but we'll pay down the interim loan at PNC Bank and start on the second $7.5 million loan. So it will save the city a lot of money in interest. Last but not least, we hope to get started on Fairfield next week. Next week, the temperatures are going to be outrageous. It's going to be hot. It's going to be difficult.
It's only 4 days.
Yeah, but we've got to get that going. I'm going to ask the residents up there if they will allow us to start early in the morning. That will be somewhat noisy potentially, and that there may be jackhammers used to break up the concrete in order to fix the road. But temperatures are supposed to get over real feel over 100 degrees, so we got to be very careful. Anyway, I've not done anything. That's enough.
No, there's a few items you neglected.
No,
What
I
is
haven't
it?
neglected anything. I
Yeah.
did everything I could do
Okay,
for the last
this
12 hours.
building here, there's nobody doing anything in there.
Absolutely, they are. Go over there.
Who's in there?
The community action.
Okay,
Westmoreland
when do
Community
they
Action.
come? They're not there every day.
They're there every day. Go push the buzzer and they'll answer the door.
And what have they done so far?
Go talk to them and ask them.
What do you know? I mean, don't you oversee who
No, I
you
don't.
put in?
That's the county thing.
Okay, number 2, over at the Mellon Bank building.
Mm-hmm.
You bought it, so what are you gonna do with it?
We're trying to find somebody to come in and do something. with
Is
it.
that a nonprofit group you're gonna give it to?
No,
What group you gonna give it to?
I'm not gonna give it to anybody. I want to try to find somebody that will develop it.
Why don't you put an ad for that?
We've got to put together a plan, and we are working on putting that
So
together,
you bought a building without having a plan?
pretty much.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make it. My name is Peter, CM Plum, 45 Montraver, 15062. Do you have the bill that it cost us that you sent to the city when you negotiated with Westmoreland Engineering? You said you were gonna have it for me, how much you charged them to negotiate that?
Yeah, I was probably down at the city on that day, 3 to 4 hours handling multiple issues.
You said you were gonna have it for me, could I have it?
Yeah, I don't have it with me tonight.
Could I have it?
Eventually.
Wait a minute, what do you mean eventually?
I'll get it to
I'd
you.
like to have it as soon as possible.
Okay.
You mean, are you hiding something that it's eventually?
Not at all.
But then put it out and give it to him to give it to him.
Yeah, I'll work
That's
on it.
number one. Number 2, with Westmoreland Engineering, I have a question that was intriguing to me. Kim Ward, the senator,
Mm-hmm.
her son, he's a lobbyist in the state of Pennsylvania, correct?
I don't know if he is or not. I don't know.
Could you please answer me?
He inside.
He is a lobbyist, right?
Yeah.
So does he have something to do with that engineering company that you signed a contract with? I mean, it didn't come off the sky and say, hey, listen here.
No, we sent out requests for proposals, and we got a whole bunch of engineering companies that responded.
Was there any, I'm asking you a question. I'm not saying that took place. I'm asking you a simple question. Kim Ward's son played a part in it.
No.
No
Are
comment.
you positive?
I'm positive. I haven't talked to him in 2 or 3 years.
Huh? You haven't talked to him in 2, 3 years? Have you talked to her in 2, 3 years?
Yes,
Has she told you?
she didn't tell me anything about RV. It was never the topic of discussion.
Number 3, Tony, have you paid Westmoreland? You've been saying that they're paid. According to what I got, they have not been paid for the last 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think you would need to change your method of where you're getting information, because just like tonight when we approved, that's not, I just signed a bunch of checks for WC.
Yeah, I'm just saying, what is it you pay?
They're invoices as they go along. I have invoices in here right now, I just signed.
Can I get those invoices that it shows that they're signed and paid?
There's a bunch of them, I don't
Is
see
there a
why
problem
not.
with them?
It's public knowledge, it's not a problem.
Can I have it?
I can't give you this, cause this is right attached to their actual bill.
Could I
So
have-
somebody could produce, ask Mike,
Can I
Mike
have
can
it?
get it for you.
When can I pick it up?
No reason why not.
I'm not even sure what it is you're asking. You're asking for what?
We paid invoice wise to, Joe?
Yeah, it's public
Yeah,
information.
I'll get it together tomorrow for you. I'm
Tomorrow?
sorry.
How about if I pick it up on Monday?
But that'd even be better.
Not even
That
give you more
me the
time.
day to do it.
I want you to have time, I want you to get it all you can
Alright.
in proper order and some kind,
Okay.
okay?
Monday.
Them were 3 items that are important to me right now. The other part of it is, I know you guys are working hard doing nothing, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna work hard to either, you guys gotta change your way of doing business, and you guys are in for another 3 years. You gotta change of doing business, if not, we're going after you, and after you, this coming election. And if you guys don't straighten up, then after you, and after you, just as well.
What time are you coming Monday?
I don't know what to say.
This Monday, you tell me when you're
2?
2 o'clock in the afternoon? Sounds like a right deal.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Does this work?
They both work.
I referred to that article in the paper about the barges, and I wondered if we could get ahead of the curve and try, because it's gonna sink 3.5 feet. And I know the Corps of Engineers have contacted you and contacted everybody along the river from Elizabeth down when they do away with the barges. So it would be a good idea to sit down, because where it's paved to go down, if it drops down 2 or 3 feet, nobody could put a boat in the water. And I've been contacted by 3 people that fish down there, and one puts a boat in the water. They're concerned already, and I said it's about 1 year or 2 years off. That's correct, isn't it?
No, it's gonna happen much quicker.
Okay, is that why the meeting was, you guys met down there, or?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing is, did you in fact hire this Remington and Vernick engineers?
At their last meeting, we hired them to take care of our CDBG budget, yes.
Okay, now, you had mentioned 20% that Urban Design Ventures charged. They never
18%.
charged 20%.
18%.
It was not 18%.
It is every
It is
year.
less than that.
No, it's not.
And, yes, it is.
I
And
paid the bill.
they found a way to get this company in here, and it's fishy. That guy he stood up here and talked a couple meetings, 3 meetings ago, and he talked about everywhere in the region, all over the country, and he never mentioned Charleroi. And I spoke with 2 people in Charleroi, and they said, we got rid of them because they didn't do anything grant-wise, applying for grants, getting grants, this, that. As a matter of fact, they overcharged on one project that they had. I said, well, that's okay. The mayor's got buddies over there. Unfortunately, they were dismissed. And I know you spent time with these guys at the Washington Rotary one time about 1.5 years ago. Why would you call them to find out how inept this firm is that you're bringing in to do what this Urban Design Ventures did for 22 years for Monessen?
Fact of the matter is, I talked to several people in Charleroi as well, and had different impression from them.
Ooh, that's very odd. Very odd.
Very odd indeed.
Hey, you know, I talked to.
That's hard to believe, but I'm not gonna make a comment because I'm just trying to be thing. It's not 20%, it's not 80%. You didn't tell the truth.
It's 18%.
And that won't be the first time you did it.
Want to go in? I'm not gonna be long. Linda Lacy, 1624 Maple Avenue. This question is directed to Tony.
Linda, talk to.
You mean you can't hear me?
No,
Okay, concerning the paving of Third Street.
Okay.
From what I understood, CDBG money was taken from 10th Street to do the work on Third Street. And you're asking, where did the money come from?
Where I asked what?
You asked her earlier, how are they gonna pay for
He
repaving
asked if there
Third
was
Street?
enough money to
I
pay
asked
for
if
it.
there was enough money to cover Third Street from CDBG. That's what I asked. Two, I don't control or have nothing to do with that as finance.
But it was talked about here, they took the money from 10th Street that was supposed to be paved and put it towards that project on Third Street.
I didn't take anything because I'm not involved.
Well, I'm not saying you were part of city council, right? You voted on it to do it.
Okay, so we all did what?
You took money from 10th Street to furnish the paved Third Street. And then you're gonna ask, did we have enough money to do that? So how much money did you take from the 10th Street project to do Third Street project, and how much more do you need?
Mary, you have an answer for that?
I don't have the numbers in front of me. The Third Street was something like $30,000, and that money was through CDBG is appointed to Third Street. The money from 10th Street was $30,000. It was moved to Third Street. I don't understand what the issue is. We can redo.
I wanna know why Tony had to ask, where is
He
the
just
money
asked.
coming from? And he didn't know, he
he
wasn't
a-
here?
He asked if there was enough money. He didn't ask where it was coming from.
Okay, I must be hearing stuff
You must be
wrong.
hearing stuff wrong.
Okay. The projects on Ross Straver, you're taking CDBG money to tear down those houses. What year of the CDBG money are you using?
There's actually 2 different years that have money allocated towards demolition, and we're using both of those. We're only using a part of both of those monies. There's a total of about $100,000 worth of, there's a total of about $100,000 available from CDBG for demolition of houses. Now, we're going to use that money where the county cannot use the money. As an example, on the Third Street side of Ross Straver, that is not within the qualified census zone that we can do houses. Anything higher up than on the high side of Summit is not in the zone. So we'll use it for demolition of houses up there as well,
On what street?
on Summit.
On Summit. Okay, but how long have we been getting CDBG money?
We've been getting it for a long time,
We'll be getting it over 40 years.
probably.
And that money was supported from the federal government for Westgate side of town. So for 40 years, you neglected to do what you should have done with that money for 40 years.
Well, I
Because
haven't been
I
here
was
for
gone
40
for 40
years.
years, because I didn't really know
But look at.
about it till I
look at-
came back. But,
Look at 14th Street that's got new pavement. Look at Division that's got new pavement. Look at several streets over there were
well,
paved.
Summit has been jacked up for like
And
30 years.
I ride it through every single day, but,
Well, my friend's
I've
not
only-
gonna ride his Harley through these streets
well, I'm sorry.
and risk his life. So it's
I
a
do.
figure of years that you're gonna do these houses on Ross Straver, when there were so many dilapidated houses on west side of town that money was used for?
We never had enough money to do it with, and we still don't have enough money to do what we've accomplished.
You could do a house every year. You could do two
Right.
houses every
And-
year
and
for
that's the way
40
it's
years.
worked, and that's the way it's
That would have
worked.
been 80 houses.
And the way that they work, they've done a few houses every year for the last 40 years.
I'm done, thank you.
This year, by the end of this year, we will have over 175 houses down. Go count them. Go count them. Go count them. Go count them. All blighted houses. If Monessen's nothing but blighted houses, then you can have it.
Go back to wherever you come from. Right you right, maybe you don't make it there.
Do you have a plan once the rescue money is done to continue to knock this house down?
Your turn.
just a couple comments on that new business,
What new business?
on the.
Okay.
I don't know, I recall a meeting of the two engineering companies that were here, WEC and Westmoreland Engineering, who were both here at that time. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought I heard WEC was going to be the one that was going to apply for grants for the city.
WEC is Vitale has been here for all these years. He's,
No, my question was, I thought WEC
we asked,
had the ability to represent the city for obtaining grants, say from the state or the federal government.
They haven't done any.
they've not done,
grant-related
Well,
work.
I searched their website and they do that.
yeah, you show me one grant that they've gotten for us.
I don't know, I'm just looking at their description
Right.
of what they do. Now, let me ask you this, this construction, why wasn't Westmoreland Engineering doing these?
Those that are on the agenda, they are.
Pardon me?
They are doing them all.
Well, what's this amount, payment to WEC Engineering in the amount of 51,000?
Right?
Is this work being done by
It's all
WEC or?
all being done by WEC. All that's being, they are the city engineer. They are the ones doing all their sewer projects.
No, I remember you saying you were keeping Westmoreland Engineers.
That is WEC. Westmoreland Engineering is WEC.
No, I'm sorry, I got that, okay. Just disregard that.
RVE is doing nothing other than CDBG.
You're absolutely right, they do nothing, absolutely nothing.
We'll find out, I guess, and we can change it if they don't.
I apologize. Sorry.
We can take control of this meeting.
Okay, come on, let's keep order.
Okay, let me just make a comment about that victory march. We have a terrific city park. It has the room. It's near a lot of traffic. I just thought, if I was the organizer of this, I'd consider the city park because you have Grand Boulevard going by, you would attract people. Here you go down an ugly street of Schoonmaker. That's just my suggestion. I think the
Okay.
park would be
Thank you.
a great place to have a get-together like that.
Which is an excellent opportunity for me to let everybody know on July the 27th in the Anthony Madison Park, we will have the Heritage Days. We will have the NAACP, we'll have all kinds of heritage days there then that day. Let me finish, please. And then that evening, we will go to the boat launch, and there we will have the fireworks, the annual fireworks.
No, I was just mentioning this
Okay.
victory march. I was just thinking of the area that would be more attractive than this downtown area of Schoonmaker. That was my suggestion.
All right, thank you.
They're doing Schoonmaker and Dawn.
Oh, see, that's the second mistake I made. Let me ask you this. Back in March, I brought up these grants of money obtained by Representative Devanza to Ross Straver and Bell Vernon.
Mhm.
And at that time, Mr. Kopash and both you, I recall the comment that Kim Ward, you were approaching Kim Ward for what he could have obtained for the city.
There-
I asked you why Monessen wasn't part of these state grants. And as I recall, and I may be totally wrong here, I thought Kim Ward's name was brought up and that you were going that route. And has she produced anything?
And we're still waiting on the second phase of that to fall through, and I don't know if it's going to or not, to be honest. But let me
check
just,
with her?
let me just point out one thing. We didn't apply for it because our fire department did not go to the meeting to find out about how to do this. Ask them.
There's a discrepancy with the fire department about that issue. You sent them somewhere else.
No, I didn't send anything. It was Devanzia sent a request to the fire department, and the fire department did not show up. I had nothing to do with that.
There's a reason behind it.
There may be, but it was between Devanza and the fire department. It's not, has anything to do with us.
We still haven't gotten any money in 2 years from either the state rep or the state senator, correct?
Yeah,
No,
you didn't
no,
obtain any. Are you in contact with her?
Anytime I need to, I do get in contact with
Well,
her.
I think Monessen needs, Monessen has a need.
Did you understand what I was saying when I'm trying to put together this plan that involves
Yeah.
the state money, the federal money, the county money, and this local school district? That includes,
And we need the money from businesses and corporations.
We do.
That would be interested.
okay, thank you.
No, I have one more.
Okay?
Can I say something or not?
No, he's still got the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you, I'm sorry.
This was brought up briefly. I was looking at a February 10th article of this, I believe it was 2023. Mr. Delfonso said about this line usage. The city intends to make quarterly payments of $2,030 over 40 years at an interest rate of 1.25. Payments are set to run through 2062. Does that still stand?
Yes.
Yeah,
Still stands?
there's a resolution passed, they're following it. You guys are over budget on your repayments, correct?
Right.
Okay, let me ask you this. It says here, the auditors found 3 payment transfers. The line usage, what needs, there's a figure here of 351,000. Is this still the money that has to be paid back into the line usage fund?
I'm not sure which money you're referring to.
Pardon me?
I'm not sure which money you're referring to.
There was a sum of money that was
Well, let
borrowed
me-
to
let me
another
quote
fund
this.
inappropriately. The city's paying it back, whatever that resolution says.
This was prior
Yeah, it says
administrations.
The amount owed already is down from 350,000 to 301,595 dollars.
Right.
So that figure should be lower today.
A little bit, not a lot. We're making $2,000 a quarter payments on that for the next 60 years.
For the next, how many years?
Well, 40 years,
Yeah.
40 years.
The financial council member, I think over the past couple meetings, mentioned withdrawals from the line usage fund.
For valid line usage projects.
That's what I wanted to ask, because it does say money paid out from the line usage fund, it's subjected to being used for that purpose.
That's right. And there's lots of uses of the line usage. The sewer project we fixed on 3rd Street today was line usage money.
Okay?
Every time the street sweeper runs down through the street is line usage money because that's keeping the storm drains clean. Every time that the vac truck is used to clean out a storm drain, that is line usage money because that
I
is.
understand that, so Mr. Orozowski was correct in all his invoices, they were all
Absolutely.
connected to that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Again, what do you think that figure is that Monessen still owes to that line
It's-
usage fund?
Somewhere between $200,000 and $300,000.
Did I say something on 19?
If you, quickly.
I think it's the Anthony Medicine Fund,
Mhm.
Park,
Right?
okay? I talked to him and his wife both,
Mhm.
and that's not a Monessen thing, that's a family. You and-
There's 2 different events going on. There is a heritage thing, which is on the 27th is a thing for the city.
According to the lady that.
That is on the 6th of July. That's a different event.
According to the letter that was put out by, I think Chris Paglia,
Mhm.
because they gave me a copy.
That's not the same day.
All I'm saying, is on that letter there, that I got, that the, family that parents were very unhappy with, because they said, we never asked the city or anyone for money to do our something. We always paid out of our pocket. So they're making this thing to be a Monessen thing. It's not a Monessen.
It's not the same event.
Would you let me speak?
I'm just telling you, you're talking about two different things.
But it's confusing, ain't it?
No, not to me at all.
Not to you? I know.
I have a mind that can
You're so
think. You obviously
smart.
have
You're so
problems with
smart.
that.
You burn your hair right on your head. You're so smart. All I'm telling you is that the family is only interested in doing what they can afford on their own. They
That's
always
right.
did it, they never asked.
And
they never
I
begged for
expect them
money.
to have a beautiful event that day.
Let me finish, okay? All I know that Chris sent a letter to 400 of business in town, and I think they collected $400 or something like that.
I have no idea.
You're so smart, you know everything, you don't know
Well,
that shit?
that's their business.
You're pretty damn
That's their
stupid. You gotta
business.
go back to
Yeah,
work.
you can't even keep the event straight.
You're stupid.
Mayor, motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:50 PM.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting is adjourned.